A lot of you out there liked a previous video about building around underused exotics, so I'm going to continue. And actually, I started going against some of those builds in my PvP games. That video is in the top right corner in a card if you'd like to see it. It was focusing on close quarters combat, and the goal is to build out underused exotics to show their power. Some of them you see time to time, but are often overshadowed by the likes of dunemarchers, shatterdive, Stompees. But we do know dunemarchers and shatterdive is getting a nerf, and who knows what else is getting adjusted in the December patch. The exotics covered today are for mid-range, and they're very powerful too. One build for each character, Titan, Warlock, and Hunter, fully building them out using the exotic to full potential. I first want to start with Warlock. I'm actually really excited to talk about this one, and it's going to be getting the spotlight today. The previous video had the Titan as a spotlight, so this Warlock build is going to get a little extra time to fully explore it. With this build, there's a way to set it up to make it shine brighter than it ever has. There's a couple ways to do it. This Warlock build and the following Hunter build are two exotics that get the same reaction when you face them. Why? It's so annoying. So for that exotic for Warlock, it's the getaway artist. Most view it as a meme build. It's not. It's a special thing that only the Warlock has, and you can't deny what it does for you in a gunfight. I'm gonna highlight some things and build it out in such a way, stat for stat, mod for mod, that these things get to peak potential, full force. The exotic perk is Dynamic Duo, convert your arc grenade into a supercharged arc soul. The arc soul functions as an autonomous turret. We're gonna be using these with the bottom tree Stormcaller, and there is a playstyle with the build. It has Rising Storm. When you connect with the charged melee, it gives super energy, grenade, and melee energy. But the most important thing is Electrostatic Surge. This got buffed. Your rift lasts longer and it charges faster. You run faster when allies are near. Couple things to know about this supercharged arc soul. It starts to shoot when enemies are 20 meters end in, right in the mid range. When it hits targets, it gives back grenade energy. That isn't stated with the exotic perk, but it does, and it's very important. As long as it's getting hits, it's getting grenade energy back. So the build goes like this. Basic PvP, charge with light, powerful friends, radiant light, taking charge, high energy fire. And you can make these mods whatever you want, but here are the things that you need to have. On the getaway artist, you want them stasis for double grenade kickstart. When your grenade is fully expended, you gain grenade energy. So when you consume that grenade, get your turret out, you're getting about 20% of that grenade back. The next part, there are two ways. The main way, the class item needs to be double utility kickstart. When your class ability energy is fully expended, you gain class ability energy. These two things are a must-have, but the next thing even more so. You want 100 recovery and at least 8 discipline. What 10 and 8 does is it matches cooldown length, 41 seconds. That's 41 seconds for the grenade, 41 seconds for the rift. You're gonna eat the grenade, pop the rift. Both of them are gonna be on a similar cooldown, and you're gonna get them back right at the same time, around 30 seconds. And the way I have mine set up, it's a pretty complete build. I'm happy with it. 5 mobility, 4 resilience, 10 recovery, 8 grenades, 6 intellect, 5 strength. We have these 2 cooldowns, and remember, when the grenade's getting hits, it's getting grenade energy back. So now you start combining that with bottom tree Stormcaller. So what you want to do, consume that grenade, pop the rift, and use that rift as a pivot point. You can leave the rift, come back, pass through it, reset the turret timer. Or if you have the arc soul out, you can pop your rift and reset the timer. And there's a way to actually have the turret up pretty much at all times, and all you're doing is just popping rifts to keep it alive. And if not, that's okay, because the turret itself is getting back the grenade energy. You want the rift though, you want it for a recovery, you want it to reset the timer, but the other way to run it is to go double bomber on the class item. This means that you're gonna consume the grenade, get the turret, pop the rift. This is gonna skyrocket that grenade to half, and you would passively get it back in about 20 seconds or extremely quickly once the turret starts getting some hits. In this version with double bomber would be more trials focused, because you would get your 20 seconds with the super turret, you're already halfway there, and with time passing and it's getting hits, you're gonna get it back. I do prefer running double kickstart because the rift is just as important, using that rift to reset the timer, using it for recovery. But I'm telling you, this is it. This is the sweet spot. I don't know why I don't see it. This way, using these mods with these cooldowns, it has massive uptime. This is peak. And once you start playing with it, manipulating those cooldowns, you're gonna see it and you can go off. The turret itself does 11 damage 3 times, so 33 damage, and it does it pretty quickly. This is just free damage. This can get you a faster time to kill. This can save you many times, especially in close quarters. Something to really notice about these things, players are gonna be jumping around you, or you're gonna be jumping around them. The turret is seeking, the turret is taking enemies out before they get the chance to run at you or make their move. I've had plenty of times where the turret actually just cleaned them up. It's this ability to get these cheeky cleanups or just straight up enough damage to make your weapons have easy cleanups that goes a long way. Then there are weapons that you can run with it. You've been seeing in the gameplay how I'm using these cooldowns. And if you're paying attention to the bottom left corner, if you see a big grenade jump after popping the rift, that's double bomber. If you see the rift energy go up, that's the utility kickstart. Ace of Spades Memento Mori is one of my favorite ways to use this turret. And with anything you run with Getaway Artist, you're looking for quick, efficient, heavy TTK shifts. Memento Mori does 90 to the head, 180 damage for 2 headshots. Getaway Artist is 33 damage, so that's over 210. That's a final blow, that's a 2-tap. Or it does 60 to the body, 180 damage. That's a 3-bullet kill to the body. And the Getaway Artist is picking up the slack, that extra 33 damage. It's amazing with the Ace of Spades. You could pair Ace with something like Frozen Orbit, a high impact sniper. Those with the turret is 191 damage. It can down someone. So Ace, really good. You have the ability to 2-tap to the head, 3-tap to the body. And you've been seeing the playstyle. I'm gonna get into a couple more weapons. It's more the same thing, just running around refreshing that turret timer, using the turret to help my TTK. A couple more weapons to go through real quick, high impact pulses, and you're seeing no time to explain highlighted. TTK shift wise, making a weapon easier to use. The high impacts do 36 to the head, 22 to the body. So if you land all 6 bullets, that's 2 full bursts. That's a 0.67 TTK. 5 headshots is 180 damage, and just like Ace of Spades, the turret cleans up the rest with the 33 that it's giving. That's a 5-bullet kill deletion with a high impact pulse. And then No Time to Explain has Time Slip. Land some headshots, get that little extra buddy with you. It's crazy. I've had great games with No Time and the Getaway Artist. You could use this with Messenger or any high impact pulse, but I'm gonna say this a couple more times. Double grenade kickstart, double utility kickstart, 10 recovery, 8 discipline is what takes all of this over the top. It's incredibly good. And lastly, I'm gonna talk about a wellspring weapon. When you eat the grenade, get the turret, pop the rift, that puts both cooldowns coming back to you in about a 30-second timer. We've talked about the turret getting grenade energy back for itself. Well, with the wellspring weapon, kills with them generate ability energy, and that ability energy is divided between your uncharged abilities. The exact number is 7.5% ability energy gained from a kill. That's then divided to those uncharged ones. This Hailing Confusion that you're seeing, it's a midline weapon, but I'm getting help with the TTK from the turret. When I get a kill, that's helping the other part of the build getting the rift back a little bit quicker. A couple kills with a wellspring weapon, and a lot of the time you're getting the rift back before the grenade. And like I said, there are a ton of times where I just always have the turret out and I'm just popping the rifts to keep that turret alive, going area to area. Move away from it, then come back, reset the timer, and this is all combined with electrostatic surge. Being next to your allies is getting the rift a little bit quicker. It all stacks up, and it's honestly one of the most powerful things in the game for pure dueling. TTK shifts, ease of use, and when you set it up like this, you're flying. You're taking advantage of everything this exotic has to offer. And here's how I have my full mod set up. Usually I'm gonna have targeting and unflinching on the weapons that I'm using. So go put this build together on bottom tree with those 4 main things, the kickstarts, matching 41-second cooldowns with recovery and grenade. Go have fun. The next 2 are going to be fairly quick and to the point. Very deliberate builds with what you're trying to do. For the hunter, that mid-range exotic, Shinobu's Vow. Oh, and I can already hear it. First Getaway Artists, now Shinobus, and straight up, all of us have the same exact reaction when we play against these. They're very pesky exotics. Very strong, they put a lot of pressure. The exotic perk is New Tricks, Improved Skip Grenade. You gain an additional Skip Grenade, and Skip Grenade returns grenade energy when it damages enemies. These are underused. They shouldn't be. And when you do see them on the enemy team, they cause a lot of problems for you and your team. Plain and simple, you can use any Arc Strider tree. Top tree, melee gets the dodge back, middle tree has the best super, but bottom tree is what we want. Focused breathing. Sprinting recharges your dodge ability. Combat meditation. While critically wounded, melee and grenades drastically recharge faster, and also lightning reflexes, you're harder to kill while dodging. To get these to peak potential, you have to build very heavy into them, and that's okay when you see results. You want 4 things. You want the Shinobus to be void with double bolstering detonation. Grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade. This makes the Shinobu, just by throwing that skip, getting hits, it's giving you class ability and grenade energy. On the class item, double bomber. Reduces grenade cooldown when using your class ability. You want 100 mobility, 100 discipline. You have to go all in. You have a very good cooldown path for that grenade, a fast one. And it's accelerated because of bottom tree. Sprinting gets you the dodge faster. Once you get it dodged, double bomber kicks in, keeps giving you grenade energy. Throw the grenade, it gives you grenade and class ability energy. And remember, you could just straight up run into a wall for focused breathing. You can run into it, get your dodge, dodge, keep sprinting, dodge, and just keep getting your grenades like that. When you throw the grenade, it gets tags, it gives you the class ability. Every time you dodge, you get grenade energy, the skips are giving grenade, and class ability. It's a loop. Very powerful setup, and skips are perfect for pressure and trials. It's perfect for a push or a cleanup, and with this particular setup, can you imagine 3 hunters doing this? You thought that shatterdive was bad, but personally, I've never seen 3 hunters commit to this. Running this particular build would be brutal. And the rest of the build is your basic charge with light. I don't have the right armor pieces to make the helmet solar, but if you do have a solar one, I recommend throwing on at least 1 ashes to assets. That way, those skip final blows are giving you more super energy. Underused, but respected. Go try them out like this. Now on to Titan, and here's the deal. And when I get to the final part, the third video, the long-ranged exotics, the Titan really is struggling there. Because the Titan either has A, close quarters go punch something, or B, something to do with the barricade. The true mid-range exotics are great for them. One-Eyed Mask, Path of Burning Steps. You see those and a couple more, they're true mid-range good options. So what I want to talk about is an exotic that is definitely used, but you could see it a lot more when certain exotics start getting tuned. That is the crest of Alpha Lupi. The exotic perk is Survival Well. Generates an additional orb of power from supers and a healing pulse when the barricade is activated. There are a couple ways to run the crest, it's good all around, but what I like to do is turn it into somewhat of a worm husk playstyle. The extra orb is good for your team, but for you, the player, it's all about the health, and they can get some too if they're close. So I like to run crest as a worm husk for Titan. There are 2 skill trees that I like the most. Number 1 is gonna be bottom tree striker. Because of knockout, the melee lunge range, getting a melee final blow starts health recovery. What you're gonna find is that players do rush you when you pop that barricade. So after you do, you got health from it, you have the lunge range, you have the melee final blow that gives health recovery. They work together. Now the other is gonna be bottom tree sunspot hammers, using that sunspot for damage and ability cooldowns. And you can pop that barricade right on the sunspot, so if people do rush you, they have to deal with coming into that sunspot. Really the only thing that you want, and this is gonna go with a lot of the long range stuff too, it's very simple. We have something that we want to do, that we want to highlight and abuse as much as we can. In this case, getting health back. You wanna have max 10 resilience, and on the class item, you want double utility kickstart. So when you pop that barricade, you get barricade energy back, and with 10 resilience, it's already on a 14-second timer for your next barricade, and you're making that faster. To top it off, make the arms void. The main thing that you want is focusing strike. Grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a melee attack, and as I stated earlier, people will rush you when you pop that barricade. You've gotten your health, they're coming right into your melee range, so you land that melee, that gets class ability. It allows you to pop that barricade to get another health chunk. And I also have on bolstering, it's the same idea. Getting tags with the grenade can get that barricade back quicker. You can forgo this one and put on some reloaders. You do want focusing strike because people like to come for you when you put that barricade up. But the idea is that you could be a little bit more aggressive, have more survivability. If you've never run crest, run it with focusing strike, 10 resilience, and double utility kickstart. It also helps if you have a high recovery stat. Everything else, basic high energy fire, taking charge, radiant light, powerful friends. It's a very good build for Titan. You're gonna be surprised with how many barricades you can pop and how many times it keeps you staying alive. The next video is long range, and at the start of that one, I have a lot of things to say. It's an accumulation of what the current meta is, why they're used, why some things don't get used, and more. And then of course, talk about the builds. For these today though, go try them, they're all good. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. And if you're looking for a new controller, I am partnered with Scuff Gaming. Use the link down below and my code COOL at checkout for a discount. Let's talk about the mid-range exotic picks. Definitely try the getaway one. It's one of my favorite builds in the game. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, and thank you for watching. Until the next one, I am CoolGuy.